Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another Mixed Media Frenzy layout, and this is the layout that I will be lifting today. And I thought that I would do kind of like a faux mixed media. That way, for those of you that are kind of a little like, I don't know if I want to invest in all that stuff because I'm not sure if I like the messiness of it. So I thought that I would show you guys how to take a mixed media layout and use supplies that aren't so messy. Now, I do end up using some splatters, but that is the only like liquid mixed media that I use. Everything else is just paper and string and wood and things like that. So I kind of sort of keep it a little on the clean side because I do know that there are people out there that kind of shy away from the messiness of mixed media. So what I'm showing you guys are just some scraps that I pulled out, a few paper, like laser cut paper pieces, some like scraps that I turned into circles. Don't ask about those. Some string that I'm going to pull out, some like definition words by Heidi Swap, this gorgeous background that was gifted to me, the whole paper pad was gifted to me, and then my papers as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these laser cut pieces, again, they're Heidi Swap as well, and I'm going to rip them apart to try and create my faux stenciled look on this layout. Like I said, I wanted to keep this layout, I don't want to use the word clean, but as simple as possible, but yet still have that faux mixed media look for those that still like the look, but don't like the messiness. And I have to tell you guys that when I first started dabbling into mixed media, that was me entirely. I did not want to make the mess. I'm a very lazy scrapbooker, and so when it comes to making the mess and then having to turn around and stop to clean it up, that was the part that turned me off. It wasn't the mess making part. It was the, now I have to stop to clean this mess up or it'll get all over everything else that I'm trying to do. That did not appeal to me. But the idea or the result is what appealed to me and made me keep making the messes. Yes, it does. So here I am just ripping and tearing, well, I already did, the little triangle bits and pieces out. And then based off of the sample layout that we are lifting is where I placed my triangles. Now, like I said, this is the faux stenciling portion of this mixed media. And then the other thing that I noticed on the layout was all the splatters, and she picked a contrasting color. Excuse me. Woo, sorry about that. She's picking a contrasting color to her background. So she's got a very light, soft, pale background, and then she picked a darker, kind of sort of a shade darker of that same background for her splatters. And for me, I went with a more I think it's called, oh golly, oxidized look, because I have the metal and faux metal, I should say. And then I wanted to make it look like it was oxidized by adding the blue to it. So now I'm working on my photos. Now, the little silver pieces that I had did not cover up my photo mats very well, or I should say I didn't have big enough pieces to do my photos or go all the way around my photos. So I went with it. I decided, you know what? I'm going to be okay with that for this, layout. And so I took my two pictures of my daughters that are kind of 3x4-ish. I took those two and I put one of them going around the top and the sides, and then the other one going around the bottom and the sides. And I think that it looks really well, considering that I didn't plan it, but yet now it looks like I did. And then I'm just trying to figure out the other layers based off of, again, I'm going off of this, of the sample layout or the lifting layout that we're doing, because she has a lot of layers. Now, I made mine a lot bigger because I wanted them to be seen. I wanted all of those images and, my scrap mixed media page to be seen, to be shown, rather than kind of tucked in and it's just the color that I wanted to be seen. So a little bit of different perspective as far as, the two different styles. And then I decided to put some washi tape behind because, again, that was something that I noticed that was in the in the layout that I'm lifting, but I also realized that without all of that mixed media, now my washi tape kind of sort of doesn't go well. So I'm going to use these circles. Instead, the layout uses triangles, so I'm going to be using circles. That way I can kind of sort of cover up the linear aspect of the washi tape that I just put down and kind of make everybody forget that I have that there. So, and because my circles are so thick, I decided to glue them to my photos, or I should say all these layers, and then pop them up. Now I did have to add 2 layers of foam to the back of these, but I ran out of fun foam. And of course, the small town that I live in, I have to order it online. So I don't have any of that available. So I had to use what I had, and it just looked like a big hot mess. I added the stringamathingies in between all of the little circles just to try and break up any pattern or anything that didn't look messy. I wanted it to look really super messy. Also, too, these are photos of my daughter and me sitting in a tank at the armory in Hawthorne, Nevada. And the tank is no longer there. It's kind of one of those things where they have a British tank now, by the way. Sorry, I interrupt myself all the time. But what it is they kind of sort of like ask for loaners. That way it makes the armory a little bit more, it's actually an ammunitions depot rather than an armory. Anyways, they ask for, loaners, and then they are allowed to keep them because they are a museum. So they are allowed to keep them for a certain amount of time. And then they kind of advertise that to try and get people to come in and view what's on loan, this go around and whatnot. So this one happens to be an American tank. And then now what they have in there is a British tank, and quite a bit different, as far as the build goes, and how, also the age difference as well between the 2 tanks. But what's really cool is they allow you guys, or any visitor, to go inside the tank and check it out and see all the different, levers and controllers and things like that. Plus also the cramped space. This was a 3-person tank, and my daughter and I barely fit in this tank. So you could definitely tell the difference between, nowadays and then-a-days. But anyways, that is all that I did. I added a few more splatters. That way I have a couple different layers of splatters. Also got some on, my main focal photo, but that's okay. I kind of like how it looks. I added some sequins just to give it a little bit more of that messy feel and, larger splatter feel is kind of where I was going. A couple little burlap stars, and I am done. Like I said, I really wanted to keep this low key as far as the mixed media portion, just so that way those of you that are new to it or dabbling in it for the first time, they don't get scared of the mess. You can have mixed media or faux mixed media without all of that mess. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along. All of their links will be down below. Some of the folks, I do have their links down there because they are new to joining us. However, they're kind of taking the holidays off, and they will have videos, mixed media videos up come January. So anyways, again, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.